Hey everyone, it's Krista here with Blooms and Brushstrokes, and we are in part 3 of the Dahlia painting. For a recap, here's where we left off. Are you saying hi to everybody? Well, say hello. Are you good? That is my cat, Texas. He loves to be in the videos. He has FOMO big time, and he loves all the attention being on himself. So he is, he's always a part of everything, aren't you, my little guy? And kiss. Okay. Anyway, you guys, we are going to continue on. For a recap, we are using the Mungyo paints, a variety of round brushes. So I've been using my number 8 Aqua Elite Princeton. I've used the number 12, which I don't think we'll use the number 12 anymore, but I do have it just in case. And he wants to go outside. I'll probably let him out. So we're gonna use the number 8 for now. We're gonna finish up the flower, and then we're gonna go in and do the detail with the Micron Archival Ink Pen, as well as the Winsor Newton Gold Ink. So today, I believe we are gonna finish, but it is gonna be all about layering color, creating depth, lots of dimension, and yeah. So without further ado, you guys, let's get cracking so that we're not here forever. So let's just get going and let's get this beautiful Dahlia finished up. All right, so the colors that we've been using so far have been in this kind of realm. The lemon yellow, 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 orange, orange, vermilion, scarlet. We've kind of just been working with a mix of these for the petals of the flower. So we're gonna continue on. I finished off last video by doing the wet on dry technique on the petals, which is paint, wet brush and paint onto the petals, which I'm gonna start working a little bit more into that just because the petals get smaller in here and I need to have a little bit more control. So I am gonna use my, as I said, the number 8 Aqua Elite, but I may have to, as I get closer to the center, bump into this Winsor Newton number 4 round. It's a synthetic sable brush. I may have to use that or even something smaller, but we'll see as we get closer to the center. So as I was doing in the last video, we just kind of cruised around, putting down color in the centers of the petal. I'm gonna grab the OG one here. So we've been working on the centers here. We may add some more color to the petals where they're flipped over, but for right now, we're just gonna leave it where we're at with that. We'll just kind of see as things go. So we're gonna finish off by moving towards the center. So now this side of the flower would be very bright and this side would be a little bit darker because this is gonna be further back. Not that it really matters too much, but to create that kind of look of this, the center, and then this being behind a little bit, we can kind of focus on that being a bit darker, this being a bit brighter. Anyway, you guys, we're just gonna carry on doing the petals. So before I get started here, you guys, I just wanted to say, you know, if you guys are enjoying this video, great. And please let me know that, or this series of videos. This is only the second time that I've done a series of videos, so it's all very new to me. And yeah, let me know if you like it, if you're feeling it's overwhelming, if you feel like I could have continued on more in the last one. Let me know, give me your feedback on how we're doing, because I'm really new at this and I'm not entirely sure when the best time is to stop and start. But I was feeling in the second tutorial, I was feeling like it might just be getting to be a bit much. So we're gonna work on some brightness over on this side. So I'm gonna go in with that lemon yellow mixed with a little bit of the yellow orange and dilute it quite a bit. And we're just gonna go in and work on some of these. And as I said, we're going in wet on dry, which is your brush with your paint. because we need a little bit more control now that we're getting a bit more detailed in here. Oh dear, there's fuzzies in there. Lovely. And we're just going to work our way through closer to the center. I'm just going to continue to kind of work with a variety of different colors of oranges and yellows and whatnot in here, ensuring that we're leaving those flipped petals the color that they are. While that still is a little bit wet, you can go and drop in even a little bit of a darker color in there. Ooh, this is weird. Okay, that's strange. So I'm just going in with some color that's on my palette that's already mixed up, just to drop in a little bit of that darkness going to the center. Again, this is still our very first pass over. We're gonna still add in some more depth by doing a couple more, at least one more layer in there. But, you know, we also don't want to get too carried away because you can start to really overdo it, which is the name of the game for me sometimes. As I get to the center, it's more, because it's more concentrated with the petals. So we're just doing that. And we can, you know, do all kinds of different colors as we go in. So have fun as you're working through your petals. There's no right or wrong. Nobody's going to grade you on anything. There's nothing like that. Just get in there, enjoy the painting process, and get your petals all painted up. So we're getting into the middle section where this side is going to be brighter here, and this side will be a little bit darker as well. And then the center where everything comes together is going to be the deepest part. So I'm actually going to go put that in there with the burnt umber, this one here. I'm going to do that dot straight in the center. It's our darkest spot, and I'm going to just put that in there just so I can see my reference point so I don't lose it. I'm going to work into that. There's a few petals here on the outside that I still need to get some color into. I'm going to use a little bit of that burnt umber, and I'm going to mix that into some of our orange color just to get some depth. With some of that yellow, just, yeah, it's kind of a cool color. So we're working on some of these little details, and you know what, my number 8 round brush definitely still works. The tip of it is just perfect for getting into these little areas. You can change your brush up if you like, but it just is working pretty good here. We're going to start with some lemon yellow, quite diluted. On this side, that would be bright. What is stuck there? There we go. And really, we'll add the detail into this once we get our Micron pen out. So it's okay if these colors kind of blend together. You want them to be separate petals for sure, but we are going to add that texture and dimension with the Micron pen. So don't get too worried if things start to kind of look a little abstract here in the center. Don't worry about it. And so these petals in the middle are now coming into the center as opposed to opening up. So just remember that. I mean, in your drawing, you would have seen that. All right, we're gonna let those dry so that it doesn't become one big blob. We want some dimension in there. So we're gonna start to work on another pass over of some color. Okay, so we've got this nice deep orange one here. I'm gonna use the, where are we at here? Just a straight purple, 817 is what it's called. And we're gonna put a little bit of that purple down. Now this could be crazy, but we're gonna try it. So again, wet brush on dry paint. And we're just kind of dropping a little bit around the edges. And moving it up. Yeah, I like the look of that, you guys. That looks great. Right. So that does look great. I'm loving that. So we're gonna work with a little bit of that purple. This is where it kind of gets a little bit lengthy because we're gonna kind of do each individual petal at this present moment and work with adding the depth into each one of them, and then that'll be it for them. So I love that. That's looking really good. I might go and add a teeny little bit of blue in there. So I'm gonna work with the cobalt blue, which is this one here. Hopefully you guys can see that. And we're gonna add a teeny little bit of that and just drop it in a bit. And watch it bloom out. And you can kind of spread it a little bit. Now we don't want to do too heavy. Like we don't want to take away from that nice purple color and we don't want to take away from the orange, but it's just going to add an even deeper bit there. I think that one looks great. So I'm going to do one here with the yellow with you guys. We'll work on this one in here. This one's yellow, and I'm going to leave it yellow, but I want to go a little bit deeper with that bright yellow in the corners where the flower meets all together in the middle. So where the petal would be underneath, and I'm going in with that brighter yellow. I'm using straight yellow for this one. That one needs a little. Hi, bud. Oh, Tex is here. Don't step on that painting, boy. Yes, yes. Okay, so I like that yellow. And then just in the very, very corners, I'm going to drop in. Okay, hi. Okay. The vermilion, just a little bit of that orange right in the. No. Oh, it's party time for this guy. Vermilion down there. You can move some of it around with a little bit of water just to soften it. I think that looks really great. So we're gonna have some fun just by working away with those colors. I mean, we could go really crazy. There's this orange one beside this one here. And I'm gonna go in there with some deep orange. I just have a bunch of orange mixed up on my palette. I'm sure you guys can see some deeper orange. So I'm gonna go in with that. Well, you were just trying to come inside. And we're just gonna go in the corners here with that deep color. This is when the painting is really going to come to life here. And in the corner of that one, we can go in and drop in some of the vermilion red. So on this deep orange one here, I'm going to go in with some more of that purple because we really love, I really love that purple, how that looked. It gives it just such like a deeper kind of feel. Awesome. That's really great as well. So we'll work on this one here. Now, as you can see, I'm kind of more working from the dark out because I want to leave these outer edges one as bright as possible. So I'm really starting to work on the dimension just on the inside here. I'm going to get a little bit of blue, that cobalt blue. I'm going to put it down here. So as you can see that the blue on the orange kind of neutralizes a bit, which makes it that really kind of earthy color, which is what I really truly love. And then there's this orange one here in the center. It's like, oh, you know what? Let's make that one a little bit brighter. So I'm going to go in with the vermilion orange again. And we're going to drop that down there. So this is a lot of putting color down, picking color up, using a brush with clear water to kind of move it around. And there's a lot of that's going to be going on here in the next, while we do all these petals. Okay, so it's like, you know what, I think these center ones are done. So I'm going to go and finish putting in these center ones. I'm going to go in with a little bit deeper colors. So again, here I am going with the 848. This red, I can't can't tell my writing, but I like it. And it's this one. So I'm going to add some more of that up in here. If it's too deep, pick up some of that pigment with a clean brush. That's the beauty of watercolor paints, is that if you have a clean brush and it's pretty dry, you can really pick up a lot of pigment if you don't want it there. So I'm going to go in with the burnt umber and add it over in here. So you can really start to see it coming to life just with adding in that different dimension and all that stuff. So this is kind of where I'm going to just be creative and kind of work away, getting depth in here. It doesn't really matter what colors you guys use to create your depth. I could go on for hours just talking about, okay, well now I'm going to use this color. Now I'm going to use this, this color in here, whatever. But you guys can play around and have fun with it. I don't think you need specific instruction on every single one. Otherwise, we will be here until the end of time. Oopsie daisy. So yeah, go on in, have fun. This is going to probably be our last pass over. We're going to go and do the depth, and then we'll go in with our Micron pen and all that stuff. So get on in there, you guys. Have some fun with your petals. Remember to do them individually. That's what's going to create that, all that, the individual look of each petal. So go in there and just work slowly through each one. Don't rush this process. This is the part of the process that's like so fun and beautiful. And don't worry about it. If it starts to look a little wonky to you, don't overthink it. Just go on to another petal. You know, like don't overdo it. And go on to another one. Yep, really liking that. Okay, you guys, so as you can see, the colors start to really evolve as you work them. And you'll see around your painting, you'll be like, oh, you know what? That looks like I want to add more dimension in there. That one looks a little blah. That one looks like I should have a little bit of more depth in it. Whatever. You'll kind of work your way around your painting and just kind of assess. It's like, okay, well, I'm quite liking where this is going, to be totally honest. I do think there's some petals in here that need a little bit more pizzazz, and you'll see all these white spots in here, or they look white. They actually have like a very small amount of pigment on them compared to all the other petals. I know we're upside down here too, by the way. Anyways, those are going to be the petal parts that are flipping over. At this point in time, if you wanted to add a little bit of pigment to them, you can, so they're not just so stark. I think I'm actually going to leave mine. The only reason I'm going to do that is because in my previous one, I didn't. I have them all colored. I think I'm just going to leave these ones just for an experiment. But I am really loving how this is all coming together. So there's just a few left that, you know, I might want to add a little bit more brightness to. Perhaps this one here, perhaps this one back here, but I've got to let some dry around them. But otherwise, I'm really enjoying the colors that are going on in here. I'm curious to know what you guys are thinking. So definitely drop me a comment if you guys are really enjoying the colors that we're using. If you guys are using something totally different, but similar techniques, let me know that as well. If you've decided to go kind of more with the purples and pinks and peaches, that color scheme, it kind of like my original one, let me know what you're up to. Just so I know what you guys have chosen to do. And yeah, if you guys want to email me anything that you're working on and you want me to check it out and you want to show me, you can send it to kursalescu@hotmail.com. Of course, I'll drop that in here. I'll leave it in the show notes as well, if you guys are interested in doing that. Sharing what you're working on, which I would love to see. I'm so pro people painting that it's like, yes, show me what you're up to. Okay, so I hope you guys can understand kind of how the flower is working. I'll grab this one. So as you can see in the middle here, it's way deeper, like there's a lot of depth. As we get to the edges, still like quite bright and quite light, but way more detail in the center part. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now, is just creating that vibrance in the center. I do love how it looks on the outer edges, so I think I might actually leave it. But I do want to get in here and kind of work. There's, you know, some of those spots that are white, I might actually put just a light bit of color on. So what I mean by that is, you can see here, well, let's see, this one here. We'll work on this one. It's all white there. What I might do is go in with a tiny bit of like yellow, super diluted, and just go over that. Did I just work on that one? Okay. That brightness, and just go over that like so. So I may do that for in and around the center for a few spots, just because the color is so condensed in the center, and then leave it as it brightens up on the outside. But I do love all the color. I love that there's some blue in there. I love there's purple. I love that there's all different kind of varieties and tones, and you know, it's very multicolored. I love that. I think it's so pretty. So go ahead, you guys. I'm just gonna fiddle around and finish up these last petals just by adding in a little bit more depth, which is just going, and the depth starting in the center. The petals always get lighter at the tips because the center or the middle or the, I don't even know, like where it comes to the center is always going to be darker. There's going to be way more shadow in there. The petals are way closer together. As it opens up, way brighter. So you want the depth or the deepest part of the color to be in the center. So whether it's orange or yellow or whatever, you want that deep color closest to the center. I hope that makes sense. I'm maybe not the best teacher, but I'm trying. Sorry, my head's probably in the video part of this. Yeah. This is where the fun really, really happens in a painting, is when you can get in there and just like really go around and feel it out and just really, truly enjoy what paint can be. At this point, when you're doing the last bits of detail, you're not going to want to have too much water on your brush. You're just adding in that little extra. And it's easy to get too much on there, so just be careful if you're going in just like I am and kind of, you know, messing around a bit and adding in just a little bit more here and there. Just be careful that it's not too much. All right, you guys, we're going to let that totally dry up. And we're going to go in with the Winsor Newton gold ink to start with. And a really, really, really fine brush. So I am actually going to use this Aqua Elite 10/0. This isn't even my #1 script because this flower is a little bit smaller than this one. I want to go in with something just that has a little bit finer brush. So that's this little guy. We're going to start very first with the leaves and the stem. So down the stem, I'm just going to do some really fine lines, kind of on each side. It's going to be hard to see it, but we want this to be subtle and beautiful. And then on our leaves, we're going to kind of go around the, you know, kind of around the outline. Or the outer edges, I should say. And down the center. So I'm going to switch this around. So in this one, I've done the gold in the center of these to give that brightness. So we're going to do the same thing because I like that and I think it's a perfect amount. So we're going to work through and we're just going to do a few lines up the center of each one. I hope you guys can see. I'm going to come down a little bit closer. Okay, we'll do this guy over here. Okay. So I'm just going up the center and kind of one on each side. You can do more if you want. You'll get the feel for what you're up to. And then don't forget, we will still finish the entire thing off with the black Micron ink. So we're going in, and I'm doing every single one, you guys. So if it feels like it's too much, maybe only add one. If it feels like you need more, add some more gold. But this is like the real detail that gives it just such a pretty pop. Some of these little guys in the center, they're just too small. So you're not going to be able to add too many. Oh, bumped it. Oh, this brush is beautiful for this. Okay, we have our gold in there. Hurrah for that. You can put your gold away now. And then now we have our number 1 Archival Ink Pen. I'll get started here on the stem. And usually I like pretty jagged lines, but we're gonna go kind of smooth, flowy lines today. Zoom back in here. Okay, so this is kind of the fun part. In the center, I'm adding in detail with the Micron pen so you can really see those petals. So we're adding some line work and we are working around those petals. Okay, you guys, so this is going to take a little while because we are wanting to create that detail in the center here. And I mean, it's all going to take a little bit of time going through. And creating that with each single petal. But you can see that's creating the look of that center all coming together. Oh yeah, that looks so good already. So then we got these petals that are so small. And don't forget the details. So that's the white spots. Those are the petals that are flipped over. That's what's really going to give this that extra look of fabulousness. So you got to get in there in every single one. So we're going around the whole thing. And then the petals that are flipped over. And adding some line work up the center. You see, this is where it gets great. It just finishes it off so beautifully. There's no... This is the thing that really does the whole painting wonders. You see, you guys? Oh, it's amazing already. Oh, I love it. So good. Well, I'm just finishing up here. Doing the last bit of line work. And you can just really see how much that detail truly creates this wonderful painting. So it's very important for it to look this way, to get in there and really do up the line work and take your time doing it. It is what really makes the whole thing pop. And so just remember, you can see where your petals are that flip over. Those are huge when it comes to creating all that great movement in the petals. Awesome. I think this is our very last one. Yeah. And just, you can kind of scan over it. Make sure you have them all done. Looks really good. I'm just going to go throw my initial on it with the year. Ooh, I love it. All right, friends. Well, that is going to do it for this tutorial. I love it. Oh, that, when you just get in there at the end with the line and you've got the gold in there, the ink and all that, it just makes it burst with life. And I absolutely love this painting. I love the colors in it. It makes me so happy. It brings me great, great joy. So this totally inspired me. When I was out for my walk today, I was like, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, I think I want to do some more dahlias, and maybe just I had some different ideas of what to do while painting them. So anyways, we'll see what comes up. But yeah, you guys, that's going to do it for this 3-part series of the Dahlia. Definitely let me know how you guys did. If it was too fast, if it was too detailed, give me some feedback on what you guys think about this series, because again, like I said, it's only my second one. I love it, but that being said, I am the one painting it and trying to teach you guys at the same time, so I'd love your feedback. Anyways, this video has been long enough. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe so you don't miss out on future tutorials. And thank you so much for being here, you guys. Thank you for helping me bring back my joy of painting again. And thank you so much for supporting my channel. Talk to you guys in the next video.